Hey guys, so here I am at COP28, and we've been waiting around for hours and hours, and it's probably going to be at least two more, probably many more, before there's any kind of text or a decision that comes out. The diplomats are busy diplomating and doing their thing. So in the meantime, I thought I'd show you around a little bit. This is the main drag. There's this big, giant, crazy dome that has this very soothing music and a light show every night. Right now there's a lot fewer people here than there are during most of the conference. Probably a third, a quarter of what was here earlier in the week. Let's go take a look at some of the pavilion areas. So one of the stranger things here is the pollution pods. And each of the pods are these domes that have different levels of pollution according to what it's like in the actual city. So this one is New Delhi, and then there's one back there that's Beijing, and then that one's London. And it's pretty weird. Like, you go inside, and and they've got like some kind of fog machine in here, and hey, it's not pleasant. Yeah. Ugh. I gotta get out of here. So over here is one of the press conference areas. They've got these buildings that are set aside just for press conferences. And actually that one right there is one of the big climate activists, Catherine Abreu. And, you know, throughout the day, these climate organizations, they have these press conferences. And that's where I spend a lot of my time in order to go and get quotes and comments from people. And, you know, usually somebody's available for comments afterwards. But the thing is that this is one of like 3 different places where there's stuff going on, and they're all really far apart. As you can tell, this place is huge. This is one tiny building in the whole place. So this place where the conference is held is called Expo City, Dubai Expo City, and it was built for the World's Fair they had in 2020, which is kind of a funny anachronistic thing, but I mean, there's no way that they're making money on it, because there's just building after building after building. All these buildings are like 3 stories tall, and you go inside and there's offices and all kinds of stuff in these places. And then they have all of these other buildings that are here, you know, so taking up the space for this conference are things like the country pavilions, and you've got the United States and France and every country you can possibly imagine. And then there's restaurants. There's all different kinds of restaurants that are here. Not just ones that are in buildings, but there are things that are set aside. Like, here's like this food park that's behind me that serves just plant-based food, which actually is not bad. I had a wrap, that was good. And all these other conference rooms. Right now, the place feels really empty because the vast majority of the observers have gone home. There's not a whole lot to do for them anymore. It's just all about the negotiations. So people like me stroll around and make videos while we wait for the real action, which is right now going on here. So this building is where most of the action is happening. It's all blocked off, or most of it anyway, because that's where the ministers and the heads of the delegations are hanging out. And people like me are not allowed in. Inside is the big space for the plenary meetings, where everyone gets together in one big room. And then there's also a press conference space, and then another space where they have these, they call it a stakeout, where somebody shows up and gives a presser real quick in order to say something important, and we all take pictures. But then there's this other space. Okay, so then there's this other place, B1. B1 is basically the main room where most of the meetings happen, and used to be really, really full, but now it's only kind of full. There it is. And it stretches on and on and on and on and on. It's full of all kinds of meeting rooms, places to have coffee. There's this other secondary plenary space. It just goes on and on forever. Here's a fun thing. A lot of people, they like to stand in front of this in order to take pictures, in order to show that they were there. So here I am, I'm here, and those people are there, so I was here. before I get to the press area, I want to show you where the real action happens. This is called the chairs. It's basically that is it. In the back, you've got some of the meeting rooms, and people just sit here. It's probably the one space where there's serendipitous meetings. You might overhear somebody talking about something, and you can say, "Oh, where are you from?" And people begin to have conversations. I've had quite a few of those. In fact, I like to jump around and sit in different chairs, hoping to bump into people and ask them questions. Just pretend like I was there. I'm shameless. And then you end up with the media barn. It's called the media center, but it's just a big old barn. I mean, this place is all temporary. There's room for something like 1,000 young, well-dressed people that are trying to be in broadcast or whatever. And it has everything. It has a cafe, it has editing bays, it has offices, interview rooms, everything for the reporters to be able to report on what's going on here so that you can know exactly what's really happening. Anyway, hope you enjoy our tour. Thanks for subscribing, and more to come.